Is P. Diddy going to prison if these allegations are true?
Well, I'm sure he is if they were true.
Well, I should ask it this way. With our official attorney, Lisa Lanier, I do want to ask her, based on what she's hearing and seeing in her professional opinion, do you think there's enough here?
Oh, I see. What you're saying.
Is this credible, or because sometimes there's lawsuits, there's allegations that are coming from people that may not be credible, and it gets thrown out.
And there has anything else surfaced?
Well, I know the latest with P. Diddy is that he's denying all the allegations, and he's more focused on the raid he thought was over the top. But what I read just yesterday is that the investigators felt they had more than enough evidence to have this raid conducted, and they're building. They said the people that are speaking out against P. Diddy are singing. They're telling it all.
Now that they are not alone and not scared anymore.
And there's men and women who have come forward about him physically, emotionally, and sometimes sexually abusing them.
That's kind of crazy that men would wait. I could see women being fearful because there's that track record of, fearing for their lives and stuff. But you would think it's like men would actually come right out and say, this guy did this to me.
Well, I think if it's of a sexual nature, I think men are less likely to get out.
Why? Because it's embarrassing?
Yeah, shame.
Like what? Then people think they're gay. I mean, there's a whole... Which, again, we're not saying that, but this is the mindset for a lot of people. And, of course, it's horribly difficult for women because the same reason, shame. And when it shouldn't be that way, but that is the reality.
We're talking about sexual abuse, sex trafficking, and then you said I know that Cassie was violent, allegedly she's claiming that she was violently abused, and now there's more violence too, right?
Yeah, I've read at least three different women, two of which I know he dated it's like on the record for dating.
Right.
That are coming forward saying that he stomped on their stomachs, kicked them in the back when they're walking out of the room. Maybe I think with Cassie would send, like if she was at some hotel, would send a helicopter to go pick her up and force her, you better come now. And then he would repeatedly, if you have young kids in the car, you want to turn it down. 3, 2, 1. Allegedly sexually assault her. There's one allegation where P. Diddy used his, and this is going back to the 1991,
right?
Like when he first broke in. And then he would have they're talking about gang rape stuff going on. Men saying that they would witness all these things. Then these things are starting to come out where Usher was saying, "Oh yeah, when I was young, I lived with Diddy for a little while." He said, "I saw things of a sexual nature that I didn't even know were possible. You'd open doors and there's just orgies all the time and very bizarre things like." This has been a kind of open secret.
But he didn't say anything illegal.
No, at the time. No, he didn't. But he was just saying. But it lends credibility to the fact that there's some over-the-top sexual things happening, and then people are coming forward saying there's underage girls.
Yeah.
One girl said he was 17 when he did something. He raped her. And Cassie's talking about getting kicked in the face.
And that's all horrible. But I will say that I will tell you that one of these orgy-type things could lead to people saying, oh, yeah, I was a part of that. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? That's that nature now. I was at P. Diddy's house.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Again, I'm not sure.
12 years ago, and it was a big party, and Russell Simmons were there, and everything else. And I don't think I was paying attention enough to notice anything, but I did not notice a single thing. It was a huge party.
Well, yeah, and then he also was having people that were going to sell his Ciroc vodka.
Ciroc vodka.
So he doesn't know these people as well. So I think you would not be doing the crazy stuff if.
Yeah.
Oh, and then and he's not Mr. Clean. Luke from 2 Live Crew, remember him?
Yeah.
They're like banned in the USA, like literally their stuff was banned because they're so sexual in nature with their lyrics. Now it would be probably nothing. But he was saying he just knew to leave at a certain time from Diddy's house.
Yes, I read that yesterday.
The rumors were after a certain time, it was like all stuff that he was not interested in. And then Cat Williams is definitely saying P. Diddy is known for being bisexual, and that if you will have sex with him, he will give you money. Guess what Cat Williams? Cat Williams had said, Squid, you saw this, that he's turned down $50 million many times for different things. He didn't go into P. Diddy gave him $50 million for certain roles. If you do this, I'll put you in this movie. But he specifically said P. Diddy likes gay sex. All right. With all that being said,
but that's not illegal.
No, it's not. No. But it's lending credibility. Well, let's ask our official attorney what she thinks. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's very fascinating. Sorry, I have a little cold. To read about all of these allegations and their similarities, and I think that's where I think we're going to see that there's going to be some evidence there, and I think we're going to start to see. I think they wouldn't be raiding his home if they didn't have credible evidence already, and they're just looking for more. And, we saw this with Bill Cosby, where, like, one person comes along and makes an allegation, and everybody's like, oh, well, she's just trying to do a money grab. But then you get all these victims coming forward with the same exact scenario happening to them. And, I think there's fire behind that smoke, and if the sex trafficking is probably the most serious thing that he's facing, because these women are claiming that they were drugged and transported, sometimes across state lines, and made to have sex with strangers. And if that holds, for each count, he faces a minimum of 10 to 15 years in prison.
Wow.
And that's even and the rapes and the domestic violence on top of that. I mean, if it's true, he's going to go to prison. I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah, and somebody that has been in the narrative of American pop culture for years and years and years. It's just like with kind of anything else that's seemingly of an evil nature. It's like kind of hard to like wrap your mind around. Like P. Diddy's just beating the crap out of his girlfriends and then having these wild sex parties with underage women, and oh man, it's wild. But based on what you're saying, I mean, would that add credibility to the sex trafficking if people come forward and said, "Oh yeah, every time I was over there, there's these wild orgies"? I mean, that's
not necessarily illegal.
Although it's not illegal, would it? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's not illegal, and that's not illegal. But what's especially troublesome is the use of ketamine and other drugs to disable these women. Their minds, their ability to think for themselves. Those allegations, because it's one thing to have orgy parties or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. That's his prerogative to do that. But these other allegations are totally different from that. And so maybe the orgy party thing is some additional indication of kind of what he was into, but that doesn't. Yeah, that's not really what matters here.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like an indication of a type of behavior that it's not a far jump to say that, oh, okay, he's obviously, there's just a lot going on.
You're positioning people that like to do the orgies as being violent or bad people.
No, not violent, but I was saying like Lisa said, to be maybe an indication that he's more likely to be, it's not a shock that he's doing these other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's been, yeah.
Right.
So,
and it sounded like in some of these instances, like he had a sort of an official girlfriend who we haven't heard, and sometimes these were powerful women, and we haven't heard anything that he was ever in any way bad to them. But then he would have all these women that he, at the same time, was doing this stuff on the side with. And so, I mean, he may have had, this idea that he had, there's a psychological theory about it's the Madonna complex that men have about they want to marry a Madonna, but they also want to have somebody naughty in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
They want the lady in the street and the freak in the bed kind of thing.
Yeah, because he dated famously like J-Lo, and you never heard any of this stuff. But maybe he was smart enough to she's powerful. I'm not going to do this to this person. But
and the woman that I think had his babies that passed away not too long ago, I feel like that was also, she never made claims against him. I mean, maybe she would have had she survived and this come out, but
yeah. All right, yeah. It just Lisa, in your opinion, this is not looking good for him, right?
So far, I mean, the sort of the mountain of of potential evidence that all these people coming forward with the same scenario happening, and I mean, you get raided by Homeland Security, you got some problems.
Yeah.
It's Homeland Security. Why home? Oh, because of the sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's allegations of drug trafficking, gun running. I mean, it's like you
crazy.
think of every major law you could possibly be accused, or a law, or you could break. It's like he's being accused of it.
Yeah, I mean, the bizarre part to me is one, how and why he has fame, he has fortune, he has anything he wants, and the other part, I mean, is how did they keep it secret for that long if that was the case?
Yeah, Lisa, what do you think?
I think the why is, we've seen this with lots of other celebrities who become very eccentric, and Michael Jackson, Prince, other
R. Kelly,
and they don't take R. Kelly. They don't take it to necessarily the level of sex trafficking for sure. But when I've read articles about those people and sort of why they went where they went, it has to do with the fact that fame is isolating and the power is very intoxicating. And they start to get to the point where, they can have anything and they've had everything. And so stuff doesn't stimulate them anymore.
Well, I believe that.
Stuff.
Yeah, I've said that before. It's like, I feel like Justin Bieber, for instance, not that he's done anything, but he was such a young kid. He got super famous. So now it's like, what's his next high? He's already reached a high of highs. So even it's almost like drugs. Like you need more of a drug to get the high, but he's already has anything he possibly wanted. So what's next? Is that what you're kind of referring to?
Yeah, I mean, because, some celebrities have turned to drugs and others turn to sex, and bizarre things like this. And, I mean, it happens. I think they get to a point where the combination of isolation, power, and the need for greater and greater stimulation is what it's all about.
Exactly.
So you're better off just having like kind of a normal life.
Nice. See why you don't take the 100 billion?
Yeah,
you
we
take
had
the 1 million.
Yeah, we had a thing earlier. Would you take a guaranteed 1 million or 75% chance of 100 billion? And it's like this. Anyway, Lisa, you're great. Hope you feel better. She's official attorney of Jared and Katie in the morning. If you're ever injured on the job, contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com. Rated as a top 100 attorney in America. There's over 1 million attorneys, so that's pretty incredible.
Do you remember the show on MTV that P. Diddy hosted with Audrey O'Day?
Oh, she's speaking out against him too. Yeah,
she's kind of. Yeah, she's made references, not exactly, but I've been trying to tell you all about P. Diddy and whatnot, but she never claimed exactly anything, but it seemed to refer to as something sexual in nature.
Danny Kane, right?
Yeah.
She said she was fired from Danny Kane, and he would come in all the time like, oh, you're fat. No one thinks you're sexy anymore. Your curves are all mad. You don't even have curves, and like just really denigrate her physically.
I thought it was the opposite. She was too skinny on that show. No?
He says you don't have any curves.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Or where'd your curves go? Because she lost weight or she just didn't have any curves. And it's like, you're not, I can't sell you as sexy anymore. And that's not illegal. It's just rude,
That's horrendous.
But there's people that are coming out that said they've seen things. They're just like, ugh. So we'll see. Time will tell. Not looking good for P. Diddy at all.
No.